Good afternoon, everyone. I am sure it's been a lovely day since we have started with the India Skills preparation with the online workshop. So, Media and Entertainment Skills Council welcome you all on this first workshop again with our favorite Mr. Vineet Raj Kapoor ji on design thinking. Uh, Let me first tell you about industrial design technology. Industrial design technology is a new skill, and we are going to compete in this at the World Skills stage and the India Skills competition under the future skills. And about Mr. Vineet Raj Kapoor, sir. He is a recognized industry expert for animation, user experience design, gaming, and films. He has a successful 20-year track record at being an academician. He has been leading India's international delegations in the content domain for past few years. He's been delivering talks and keynote addresses besides faculty development program at various universities and colleges, including Punjab University, Chandigarh, Guru Nanak Dev University, Kurukshetra University, Punjab Engineering College, University Business School, etc. And in at international stage, he has been with Konkuk University, Seoul. He is a knowledge partner for TCS ION in the field of usability and game design. So welcome, Vineet sir. Welcome back to the online workshop for India Skills competition. Now, India Skills is gearing up. We all are gearing up for India Skills because the national competition has to happen before December 2021. And this is a workshop for the modules, the introduction to the modules, and this will be followed by the session on test projects and the scoring. Then there will be there will be a level of online screening. So I'm all done. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Pooja, for such a nice introduction. And okay, not to take much time, let me share my screen first.
Yes.
Okay, and here we go. Basically, I'll be talking about design thinking. I'll also explain you the various part of industrial design that are being understand this much better, and how the even upcoming workshops being held on 25th and 26th also fit in. So you understand the entire gamut of what you need to learn and what you need to sharpen, right? So I'll begin my presentation. Okay, there were a few pages. Pooja has already told you all about it. So these are some pictures of the work I do. This is an institute that I'm a founder at. It's a very new concept in education. So Skill is the institution. I also lead India's delegation to Korea in the field of AVGC, which is animation, VFX, gaming, and comics. And of course, I'm a knowledge partner with TCS ION in game design and software usability design, which is UX, which also brings to this subject of design thinking, and a couple of books. Well, coming to IDT. Now, industrial design technology has 5 phases as per, see, there are many different models of how design thinking should happen. So one of the model is 5D model. So IDT so far is following that model, which has got 5 phases, which is called 5D: discover, define, design, develop, and deliver. So when you come to discover and define, they're more of an overlap with UX design. Like you have to research the topic, so it is similar to UX research, and then you have to define what you want to do, and then onwards design covers something like making product sketches in tangibles, and in intangibles, that is wireframes. So IDT is about tangibles, which means physical products. And develop is like, again, in tangibles, it could be a 3D software like Fusion, And in intangibles, now development gets into the mobile domain and visual design area. And deliver is how you visually communicate finally what you have done to your audience, which is the client or whatever, so that they understand what you're doing and they can give you feedback. So we are doing the first two today, which is discover and define. And tomorrow, day after, you'll be doing design, which is the sketching, how to develop product sketches. And then I think on the 26th, it is about the doing in the 3D software. Right. So in design thinking, the first phase, which is discovery, of course, I have included both the phases, discovery and define. So the first part, butterfly diagram and mind map and value proposition canvas. Butterfly diagram is actually the define stage. It comes later. Mind map and value proposition canvas come earlier when we do the brainstorming and look at things. So I hope some of you may be familiar with mind maps. It is a very interesting way to research a topic. So it is a graphical representation of ideas and aspects around a central theme and how these aspects are related to each other. So with a mind map, one can map all relevant aspects and ideas around a theme. So this brings an overview of the entire situation and clarity to a problem. So till this clarity is there, it's very difficult or impossible to actually dive into the problem solving. Anybody who's not doing this phase is actually trying to maybe redo something what he already has in mind. They're not designing, they're only giving a solution they have in mind. They only use the name of design thinking to justify what they're doing. So that's not a good idea. So what mind map does? So I've taken in these five elements. There's a reason I'm using these five elements. But first, mind map was developed by Tony Buzan. In fact, he lived in Pune for a very long time. So this mind map thing, you can develop mind map in any number of ways. These five are the elements currently being used by IndiaSkills and hopefully later by WorldSkills. So that's why I've written these five here. Otherwise, there's no limitation to mind map. It is a very open thing. So we can move further. These will occur in your test project if you really qualify to take part in the WorldSkills. So this is a sample of a mind map. I hope some of you have already developed mind maps, but there are many softwares available online to create a mind map, and you can do it with a pen and pencil also, pen or pencil on a paper. I typically prefer that method because when you are doing creative thinking, you may be wanting to sit in a park and do it or sit on your rooftop and do it. So you may not want to do it on a device. It becomes much easier doing it on paper. And later on, you can do it on devices. So anyway, like for example, if your exam is, so there are many questions that can keep coming to your mind when you're starting to make a mind map. So first of all, the first question will be why you use locks. So child safety are two things that came to your mind, so you put it there. Then what things have locks? So buildings, safes, journals, bikes, vehicles, lockers, suitcases, gates. So locks can also be in your suitcase. It can be on your almirah, right? So you have to analyze what all things have locks, because if you're designing a new lock, you have to first understand the lock market. So how do locks work? So it works with keys, nowadays even with passports or passwords. Then there are padlocks, child locks, which work one way, which means a child cannot interpret them, but an adult does not even need a key sometimes. So a child lock in a car is an example of that. Can locks be bad? So now somebody will say, no, they cannot be bad, but why not? You're doing design thinking. So think very, very openly. So yes, when I want to enter a door and it is locked, it is a bad thing. It is time consuming. It is unnecessary. So the lock may not be there. So for example, if you look at a fire exit, so having a lock there is risky now. It's not safety, it is unsafe to have a lock there. So you have to be very open to your thinking. And everyone accesses. And again, now when you go move ahead, what things should not have locks? Showers, appliances, and of course, fire exits. So somebody, if by mistake says, I will make the shower safe, I'll put a lock so that only you don't get wet when you go into your bathroom. So fine. So maybe by accidentally you don't get wet, but everyday bathing will become a problem. So bathroom is already a designated area for water being there. So you may not want a lock there. So what also can have a lock, maybe backpacks. So people have a backpacks, but they easily anybody can steal something from your backpack because there are no locks there. So similarly, there could be other areas. So this is just one example how you can evaluate a problem using a mind map. So basically what you do is you have a central theme which you write in the center. Then you keep on writing what attributes you want to check. So it is again, now when you compare it to an Excel, so in an Excel, you will have rows and columns, and then you can fill the data. So that restricts you that, for example, if you put in 3 rows, 3 topics on the rows and 3 columns that maybe high priority, medium priority, low priority, then in each of the column, you are able to fill one thing. So that is the problem with an Excel. So when you come to a mind map, you have all these options that if you are examining, maybe 6 rows, fine. So these are like 6 rows, but every row has got different columns. So some have got maybe 8 columns, another thing has 2 columns. So that allows you the flexibility that RDBMS allows, relational database. So the Excel is like a hard database, which is not relational, it's singular. So moving ahead, we'll discuss what a value proposition canvas is. So value proposition canvas was developed by Dr. Alexander Osterwalder. It has 2 parts to it. One is about the customer, and then how the provider meets the customer. So customer has a job. For example, again, talking about say locks. So customer wants something locked. For example, he wants a lock for a backpack. So what is his current pain? That things get stolen from his backpack, and he has to purchase a separate lock for a backpack, which can be lost or the key can be lost. So you have to create a lock which remains in the backpack. That is the only good solution. And gains and delights. So if you can do something more, that will be a delight. So for example, a delight can be that you just wave your mobile in front of the lock and it opens. So that can be delight. It is not required, it can be value add. So similarly, the provider is matching each of these. That whatever pains you have to be relieved. Product and service has to be offered, which gives you the solution. And gain creators have to be made to delight the customer. Now, delights is a vague area. So there can be some delights you did not even mention that you meet, and some delights may not be met. It is not the most necessary element of design. So this is how visually we organize this value proposition canvas. So visually, it basically has on the right hand side, you see the customer, his face is shown, although it is not necessary to show the face, but it makes it much easier. So the customer's jobs are the actual needs that he wants met. So the job could be to make his backpack secure. It may not be even be a lock. It may be the need may be to make the backpack secure. And pains could be things keep getting stolen from a backpack. And then the gains, whatever extra will delight the customer, which makes it easy, which makes, for example, it is less bulky, it is easy to maintain, it is easy to manage, all that thing. For example, you give him a separate lock, that is then not a delight, because when he loses the key, he'll be in fact even more trouble. Suppose your backpack has your passport, you're standing at the visa counter on the airport and you are not able to find your key. It could be really troublesome. Backpack is supposed to have things that you immediately need. So you have to understand the customer deeply. And on the left hand side now, this is maybe assume that this is a company. So the company will propose products which meet your customer jobs or your needs. This will also look at the pains you had, even if your need is not directly related, but if you had any pains with the previous solutions, so that have to be taken care of, which means on the customer job, if you said, I need a lock, and the company provides a lock, that is not a solution, because the pain is also that the key gets lost or the lock gets lost when you require it. So you have to put your pains there, so which also have to be solved while creating the product. So automatically an innovative product will come in case somebody is taking care of both of these, as well as providing some great USP in grain creators. So I'll show you some actual examples like in the previous lock. Now this one will be about cars. So this is a probable customer from US, of course. He's got a dollar income. So he has got certain jobs, like he wants to commute to work. So that is his main agenda. Then personal mobility is also important, that he wants that otherwise also he's able to go to different places. So his personal mobility will be taken care of. Occasionally he wants to go on a long trip, maybe travel somewhere, have some fun. He wants that he is able to convey an image of success. And he prefers that he looks different from others, right? So similarly, what pains he had are described below. We need not go to each of them because, of course, these are made by someone who was researching customers for cars. So the key thing is, in jobs to be done, the ideal situation is when you don't even mention a car. His need is to commute. His need is not a car. He may say that he needs a car. So there's a difference between both. So you have to recognize the difference. So somebody may mention something, that doesn't mean he needs that thing only. You have to find out what can solve the person's problem, right? So of course, in electric cars, there are fear of dead battery and frequent charging is his concern. Then accident and harm is his concern, lack of charging stations, and he wants a cheaper thing. Because every time he has to look at the prices. And similarly in gains, okay, he's not looking at a car which has 4 to 7 seats, but if he gets that, it's a benefit, bonus. If he gets a high-end battery technology which will save some time, it is a bonus. He's not looking for battery, he's looking to commute. And safety ratings, the range of the car in a day, what is the best optimum travel. If compliments from friends come, it is a gain. It is not his core vision. So yeah, if the brand is recognized, he feels happy. It's the same like when you study in a college. If the brand is recognized, you feel happy. There's nothing in your education that happens because of the brand name. It's only your happiness of studying with this. So, and of course, if it performs like a sports car, he'll be very, very happy. And if the design looks great, that will add to his happiness. So those are the kind of gains he may be looking at. So what Toyota's offers are there? So let us see. It has got a specific car, which has got 5 seats. It's got Toyota safety sense. So they developed some kind of software or system which basically puts in extra safety. In products and services, They have multiple models, Pro Ace, Mirai, Verso, as well as some models in sports, Prius, Land Cruiser. They allow you to customize your design. So now you have real value there, because now you can meet specific needs also. So it is a manual driven car. It has got a lot of options, and in gain creators, it has got adaptive cruise control, focus on comfort and space. It has an urban style. It is a hybrid car. So these are all gains. We're not looking for a hybrid car, but then they offered you this, that this is a hybrid. So if your frequent charging issue is there, then you also are carrying extra fuel when your charging finishes. So you do not have to stop. So this is a value proposition, but still it was a mid-fit. Customer, all needs were not met. So customer was not happy with this. Let us see another customer whose needs Toyota could meet. With the same thing on the left, on the right, something has changed. So this person's distances are not far from home. So his travel is less. Seating requirement is 3 to 5. They were 4 to 7. So needs now can be met. So this another customer, his needs were totally met by these cars offered by Toyota, right? So he wanted to commute to family activities, and happy family image was required. So Toyota was meeting those kind of images, whereas need for being known amongst friends for his car were met by Tesla. So Tesla had a bigger car and more about charging and electrical. So a different customer was fit for Tesla, and a different customer was fit for Toyota. And here, this customer could not be was a match fit for Toyota. So now you understand what value proposition canvas does for you. So it's a very typical, very deep gain you get by creating a value proposition canvas, right? So far, is it understandable? I think Pooja can tell me. If she has understood, then I guess everybody would have understood, because she's not a technical person in this. Yeah, Pooja?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm trying to move faster so that in the end, if you think there are some questions, we can answer those also. So, okay, butterfly diagram. So this is not, sorry, this is not developed by Dr. Alexander. By mistake, it has remained there. So butterfly diagram is doing something different. This is the butterfly diagram. That was an extra slide. So butterfly diagram basically matches the mission with the vision. So basically, the vision is about what our hopes, the problems, what we want to solve, who we are, what were we inspiring to change. So it is the preparation, the solver, and mission is what is the need with the user. So who we have to serve, the person, the customer. So customer represents our mission, and vision is basically our preparation. So which means if you want to win an Olympic medal, now anybody from say this discussion cannot go and win an Olympic medal. There is a preparation required. So anybody who's solving a problem, unless they have a preparation, they are not in a position to solve the problem. So that represents your vision. That with that vision, like for example, if a company says that to help you communicate is their vision, so which means any problem that requires communication as a solution, they are the people who are prepared, who are already have the background in this, right? So that is the solver. So, and the need could be a user who's pained with, like again, when we talk of say locks. So preparation, the solver could be a company which is already into security or into locks or even into doors. So anybody who's connected with securing a person. So it could even be like a baggage company which creates so many sizes of bags. So they are also into the same domain, when it comes to locks. And similarly, when we look at the top, the need was that a person on his personal baggage that he carries on his back, he needs it to be secure. So that is the need. So, and also the advantage that one can give comes in the center. That is the product or a solution. So the solution has to meet the needs and also to give something new or different or unique to the user. So that is what changes the whole domain. Like if you're able to not only offer the solution, but move the entire domain further. So for example, let us look at in older days when BlackBerry was the ruling phone in the rich people, and Nokia was a ruling phone for maybe normal people, modern like middle class and lower class were using Nokia. So suddenly Apple came up with a solution which was again having more or less similar features. But then they said that why don't we touch the screen and do things? So that was the start of something called smartphone. So they not only had the old features that were required that people want phones for calling, but this said this phone can also bring in a little of your computer inside it. So the solution had the problem was also solved. The normal problem of, for example, picking a phone. You don't need to press a button. You can touch the screen to pick a phone. So your button gets used less, so its life increases. So with touchscreen, a lot of new solutions came in and opened an entirely new field. So that is what a good product does. It not only like solves the problem, it also starts a new field or brings in a new audience which didn't even knows that this thing was required. So when Apple brought in smartphone, so your music, your iPod also, their own product got redundant that people could listen to music, could watch movies on their phones. So a lot of education can start happening on phones. So today's online thing is also happening because a lot of people back then decided that phone could be used for something more. Right? So again, explaining this a little more, that business, human and technical angles get taken care of. So business viability is what is the vision part. It's a mission part, and the vision is your technical feasibility, why you should be solving the problem, why Apple should be solving the smartphone problem. That they're already into carrying music, they're already into computers, so they knew that the answer in phones could be a little different coming from their background. And human desirability is your final decides your product, your solution. I'll just delve a little now from where do I learn design. So a lot of you go to design schools and like study design books, but maximum of my learning has come from people like Gandhi, Walt Disney, David Ogilvy, Lee Corbusier, the McDonald's, Steve Jobs, Dadasaheb Phalke, John Nash, Leonardo da Vinci, Alan Turing, Steve Hawkins, Mark the Zucker. I like calling him that, Mark Zuckerberg, P.T. Barnum, Hitchcock, Eminem, Queen, even Queen, these singers. You learn a lot by watching even their movies that were made on them. Hugh Hefner, and yes, some of you may remember Lee Iacocca, and some fictitious people. If you watch TV series, Dr. House, Scorpions, or if you read books, John Galt, Howard Roark, these are the heroes of stories like Fountainhead, Atlas Shrugged, which are all into design thinking. So I'm only listing this to share some great learning moments for me. So I'm happy to discuss any of them if they interest you. Okay, otherwise we move further. If there are any questions coming on the YouTube channel, Pooja, you may let me know. So now we'll look at one typical problem. Okay, I think there is something in the chat window. Okay, fine. So I'll take a look at one typical problem that, just a second, we moved. So this was a problem in a recent international training. It's a very simple problem. They showed us a screwdriver and they said that we have to design a new screwdriver for a certain specific cause. So this is the kind of problems you face. So don't look at solving the entire world's problems there. These are small, simple products. They want to not majorly test you on your product design, but want to majorly test you whether you follow the process of design. So please understand there's a difference between designing the product and following the process. If you can do both, then you can be the world champion. So let us look at, for example, what kind of a task. So they would like a butterfly diagram and describing the mission vision statement and also a mind map as a first part of the competition. So mind map, like I've already explained you what mind map does, and these were the 5 categories they want you. Second, value proposition canvas was required. So they have got certain specific requirements they've written. Like for example, canvas, all segments should have 5 office stickers. So which means if you have 4, you'll lose marks. That is, see, somebody will say why they can't be 4. Yes, there can be. So it is something like kabaddi, badminton, or anything where there are certain rules. If you stick to the rules, you'll score marks. Fine. So office stickies should consist short terms of each value proposition canvas, and you have to pay attention to the customer's jobs. You can't put something in gains and pains which is not even related to the customer jobs. So you have to relate them. So you will get marks if you relate them well. And you are allowed to use unlimited internet to do research. And since people come from different countries, they also allow online translators to make your stickies or whatever. So similarly, in this also, it was very clearly that mind map will have these 5 elements. And you have to basically show what is available on the market, what should be done, your vision, and the market segments of that particular product you're making, the customer's profile, and requirements, and the object's properties. Now, object properties can be about the physicality of the object or the desirability of the object. And the third task, although this you'll get trained day after tomorrow in the sketching phase, but it was about to draw the sketch based on what you have done in task 1 and 2. Right? So I'm just giving you a sample on what are the kind of requirements. So which means you have to make hand-drawn sketches with this, and digital sketch. So there are 3 documents that you have to hand over. If you hand over 2, you will lose marks. So this is very important to understand. They're not looking for quality of sketch so much, but they're looking of detail of the sketch. Say if some of you have given those UCED exams or CEED exams, so and have not understood the marking system, well, they also do like this, that whether you have been able to nail down the detail, even if your line quality may not be great. So those of you who can't draw too well, just think what is required, and if you put that on paper, you'll get the marks. So this was a problem given, that you have to make a screwdriver for a snowboard or skateboard. So it is a multi-tool. So this was a description of the company. I'll just read it. So we are a small but fast-growing company that develops sports equipment and accessories for snowboarding, skateboarding, surfing, etc., extreme sports disciplines and extreme sport users. And for a coming season, they decided to update our favorite pocket driver according to customer requests. So there should be a driver and a wrench tool in it. Remember, not just a screwdriver, wrench also is required. The tool body should be easy to use and floats, able to pop up in water. Material should be eco-friendly and durable. The tool should be multifunctional and pocket size and safely for our riders in all situations. Safety for our riders. Other smart functions are welcome, but it should not increase the cost of the object. So that is also an important part. And then they showed that screwdriver, which you already saw. Right? And then they gave some kind of small note or hint. So they said, we have found a solution made of 3 parts and 2 materials. So your screwdriver must fit this solution, which means 2 materials. You can't use 10 materials or 6 materials or 3 materials. 2 materials and 3 parts. And I'm just sharing this. It is basically some of the solutions offered by the competitors there. So it's not important to read it, as it is important to understand the kind of depth that people have gone into. Right? For example, in object properties, they've written nice, firm, and soft grip, wrench options, locator. So if it gets lost, you are able to locate it. So LED light for use in the dark, and so on. So this is some solution that a person created. So this research, you will see that it will automatically convert to a good design. Similarly, another solution provider created this for the same problem. So the look and feel may be different. And the third one. So now when you compare, whose research looks most to you? The maximum research, where does it show? You'll just take a look at all 3. Again, take a look. Second and third. Where do you think maximum research has happened? Right? Third one. Third one is much more detailed than the first 2. So obviously this person got more marks than all others. So this person came first in that competition in this area of design thinking, and he was from India. So let us take a look at all these people created some screwdrivers. I'm just showing them so that you understand what kind of result comes out of this kind of design thinking. So this is one screwdriver which came out. This is another one. This is the third one. This is the fourth one. And this is the fifth. So all of them. So you just see that with the same problem, the solutions can be so different from each other. Right? So this is only a sample to help you understand that what can be the variety of solutions possible. So do you think that there can be another solution possible beyond this? These are basically like maybe they have like researched all of the kind of things, but is there still another solution possible? Well, I just yesterday I drew another solution. So let me share that with you. On the top. So I imagine that why screwdriver need not even have a handle like a normal screwdriver, because it is being used only for surfboards. So I drew a circle which had small bit in the center for tightening, and on the other side there was a wrench. So you have got like a screwdriver as well as nut and bolt. Both are taken care of by just this circle and tool bits. So it's easy to carry, light, made of plastic, can float on water. So you see that how many uh, designs are possible in design thinking. So this is the end and not the end. So it is over to you, Pooja.
Thank you so much, sir, for covering the thinking segment of uh, industrial design technology. As this is a workshop where we are talking about the modules, and to begin with the product of you're designing, how to start preparing. So I request you to, sir, please stop the screen share.
Okay, sure.
So
Yeah.
on the basic modules of IDT, when we talk about, it's going to cover technical descriptions also, and the other there's a process also that will be defined in the upcoming project, in the upcoming sessions. And today covering design thinking. So when you, the way you think, the way your product comes out, and all you need to do is you need to understand the problem first. So I think that's the basic thing that you have explained. To design anything, be it
Right.
any character or anything, that thinking has to be clear. And thank you so much, Vineet, sir, for covering this segment for industrial design technology students. Guys, I'd like to tell you tomorrow there's a workshop by World Skills Korea, and it's an open workshop. All of you can attend. We will be sharing the link of the workshop on our social media handles, so you do check it out and take out your time for this second session on by the Korean experts. Now, today I'd like to tell you about our upcoming session on IDT, industrial design technology, as it's a new skill added to IndiaSkills and World Skills competitions. We all are gearing up to learn about the designing part, to the industrial designing, the how it's going to look. So I'd like to tell you it's going to start with the demonstration of sketching concepts on Friday and technological process on Saturday at 1 p.m. So the upcoming segments are going to be there for you. And as all the sessions are going to be there on our YouTube channel, you all can subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out on the sessions. Now, one more thing. Next week, we are planning a session explaining you the test projects and the scoring criteria. After that, we'll be going for the online screening of the candidates. So you all gear up, pull up your socks, start preparing, and yes, rock at the online assessments app and at the India Skills National. Reach the India Skills National and participate for the World Skills competition to bring glory to the nation. So thank you so much, Vineet, sir, for your wonderful time. Your explanation was very well done. It's even being a non-technical person, I understand this thinking process. And I'm sure our technical people who understand industrial design technology are also getting aspiring ideas from your process of thinking. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.
So with this design thinking and industrial design technology, we are waiting for you all to prepare and come up with the online assessments. Yes, there is a group of industrial design technology that I'm going to add the link for on the WhatsApp group or in the feedback form. I wish that you all join the WhatsApp group to get more updates on the competition part. With this, thank you so much, sir, for your time. And thank you so much, guys. Take a break. Next session is for print media technology at 2 o'clock. So we'll see you there.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.